And the Capitol Hill riot was the best thing that's happened to Democrats in years. As cops were attacked all last summer, as this country was on fire, he criticized police. But not today. Today, Jamie Raskin was appalled by what police officers went through on January 6th. He was beside himself. So just remember, when the left cries over what happened in early January at the Capitol, they didn't cry when your business was looted and destroyed last summer. They had the popcorn out, and they were dreaming about Trump losing in November. And that's exactly what this is all about. The Trump trial is on.
On this vote, the ayes are 56, the nays are 44, and pursuant.
All right, the Senate voting that the impeachment trial is constitutional, 56-44. You heard it there. Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy joining Democrats and the same 5 Republicans who voted the same way when Rand Paul brought it up 2 weeks ago. The trial got off to a very interesting start. Today was all about determining whether trying a former president was even constitutional.
All right, joining us now is the attorney for President Trump, David Schoen, for this impeachment. I call it the shift show charade.
I think this is a very, very, very painful and wrong process for the country. It's, as you said earlier in your show, it's very easy to stand up and show spliced and manufactured films. Literally, you know, the Democrats, the House managers, apparently hired a large a movie company and a large law firm to put together this thing. It's a matter of tricking the American people to play as if the rioting was going on in real time with the speech. What's the purpose of that? Why do we want to trick the American people? And listen, they have great entertainment value. People are glued to, you know, a movie that's made professionally like that. But that's not going to advance any cause of good in the country.
But as you can imagine, that's a really boring 4-hour debate. So the House impeachment managers went right into the guts of their case. Lead manager Jamie Raskin got the party started by playing a 13-minute highlight video of January 6th and the riot at the Capitol. The video was very graphic and very powerful. It did exactly what it was designed to do: show the mayhem that occurred that day and tie it directly to Donald Trump's speech. The only problem is doing so required some editing tricks. Take a look at what they played.
We're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down to the Capitol.
Yeah! Let's take the Capitol. Take the Capitol. Take the Capitol. We are going to the Capitol, where our problems are.
The constitutional issue, jurisdiction. Let's go over that and why this is not constitutional.
Yeah. There's so many reasons why it's not constitutional. It's funny, you know, that the House managers got up and said such a clear question. Even their people say it's a close call at best. Nobody thinks of using the impeachment process for anything other than removing a civil official from office. We have courts. If you want to have an investigation, you want to prosecute someone, something like that, we have the courts for that. That's not what an impeachment is for. To me, it's absolute nonsense. The president is no longer the president right now, and he's a person who can't be removed from office. He's a private citizen. Think about it. He doesn't get any of the benefits or safeguards that our Constitution provides for someone who has an actual trial. They put in that video. That videotape would never go into evidence in any court in the world today. It's a spliced tape showing what they want to show.
All right, you hear just that part of Trump's speech to the crowd right there. And when you place that partial quote that he said next to rioters smashing into cops, breaking into the Capitol building, it makes for a very powerful moment, a moment that Democrats, of course, love. But here's what happens when you finish the clip. This is what they didn't show you.
I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
All right, so a lot of people wondering why would they start it all off by misleading the Senate and the American public? Why that deceptive edit? It's not a good look, a horrible way to start off a trial, destroying your credibility. All 50 Republicans in the Senate know exactly what Donald Trump said that day. It's been played on the media so many times.
It's pretty profound to me that the media is now acknowledging. We have law enforcement, the FBI acknowledging. We have court documents acknowledging. We have Ocasio-Cortez, the Congresswoman, acknowledging. All these people now discussing how, in fact, this was all pre-planned. Well, how do you make the argument that at a rally, the words of the president to peacefully and patriotically march to the Capitol so your voices are heard, how do you make the argument that that incited an insurrection when, in fact, it was all planned out apparently ahead of time, according to all of these varying sources now?
We've all seen the video. The evidence simply is not there. The Democrats are going to conflate what happened at the Capitol with the myth that Donald Trump stood there and ordered it. It's a weak case. They know it, but they're pretending it's a slam dunk.
That's a high crime and misdemeanor. If that's not an impeachable offense, then there is no such thing.
All right, Jamie Raskin there. Well, if you had video of Donald Trump actually breaking into the Capitol with the rioters, then yes, you might have a point. Or if you had video of Donald Trump telling the rioters to destroy the Capitol or some kind of evidence that he planned this and wanted it to happen, then yes, you might have a slam dunk case. Right now, you have neither. What they are doing is a horrible video of rioting and then video of Trump giving a speech. The idea that one is directly responsible for the other is their problem.
Even taking the position that that speech incited an insurrection is as dangerous as I can imagine in the free speech area. It would absolutely chill passionate political speech. I think one of your earlier guests, maybe Mr. Trump Jr., said it best that, compared to other rhetoric you hear, this was mild. If you really read the speech and watch it, he calls for, when he uses the word fight, it's in the context of a legislator fighting or something like that. It's a really setting a horrible message to people. I understand they don't like Donald Trump on that side of the aisle. Well, he has, half the country loves him. I would say to you probably that if he had 75 million voters, they voted for him because they love Donald Trump. I don't know that many other candidates can say that. Many people may have voted because they didn't want Donald Trump for the other candidate, but he has a real following. He's a passionate person, and it's setting a very dangerous and wrong message. And it's a hoax, I'm sorry to say.
The Trump team itself bashed the Capitol Hill riot today, just the same as all the Republicans have and the conservative media. We all stand against what happened January 6th. It makes most of us really mad for two different reasons. Not only was it despicable to see people attacking police, attacking Congress, it was also a massive, massive political gift to the left in this country. And the Capitol Hill riot was the best thing that's happened to Democrats in years. And we all know that. What is beyond obnoxious, though, is watching the Democrat House managers gasp and clutch their pearls while talking about what they saw on January 6th.
If we apply the Democratic standards for how they define incitement and insurrection, well, what if we applied it, as we started our monologue tonight, to the words of Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Maxine Waters, and a whole host of others? If that same standards is applied, do they not all deserve impeachment too? By the way, I don't agree with it, but if you use their standard, it seems if you're somewhat intellectually honest, you'd have to say they deserve impeachment.
It's not tied to Donald Trump or his speech whatsoever. So what they're doing now a bit is going back, well, you see, it's not just that speech. He's been, inciting people, inflaming people. No, he's been rousing the American public to drain the swamp, whatever they call it on his side, to make a difference in this country. That's what political speech is about.
Such phony outrage. Jamie Raskin himself represents Maryland's 8th congressional district. He's got a big chunk of Montgomery County. That's a D.C. suburb. All the rich people live up there. Raskin stood by for months and watched BLM and Antifa rioters tear businesses apart in Washington, D.C., in places all over this country. He defended the peaceful protests, like the rest of the left, as cops tried to keep the city from being terrorized and businesses from being looted, as cops were attacked all last summer, as this country was on fire. He criticized police, but not today. Today, Jamie Raskin was appalled by what police officers went through on January 6th. He was beside himself. So just remember, when the left cries over what happened in early January at the Capitol, they didn't cry when your business was looted and destroyed last summer. They had the popcorn out, and they were dreaming about Trump losing in November. And that's exactly what this is all about.